Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are now live. My name is Alan Smason, and welcome once again to NOLA Theater Talk. Tonight, we are broadcasting on the NOLA Theater Folk Facebook group, on the theatercriticism.com Facebook page, and also my very own and beloved YouTube channel, Music Lovers 169. Again, tonight, we are going to be playing tribute. I say paying tribute, but some of them may be playing, but we're going to be paying tribute to the Stage Door Idol competition, which started out as part of the National World War II Museum's outreach to bring back an appreciation of that era, the music and the songs that more or less were reminiscent of that time. And again, it was thought that not only would it help bring back an appreciation for younger people for the Great American Songbook, but that it would tie into the museum's mission of informing people about the great sacrifices that were made by our servicemen and women and those on the home front during World War II. And again, this was part of the outreach that was done by, at that time, the entertainment director for the National World War II Museum, Victoria Reed. We would be remiss if we did not mention her at the very start. She had come into the museum as the entertainment director and kind of took on this mission. And I'd like to also bring in her, Victoria would have been her predecessor, but the person who's taken over all the entertainment over at the National World War II Museum and what is now called BB's Stage Door Canteen. And I'd like everybody to welcome now Erica Jensen. Erica, welcome
Hello.
to the show. And again, Victoria had talked to me a little bit about some of the things that she had done, and she had brought in. Essentially, started up the Victory Bells, which was part of a program that she had. The I guess it was the Liberty Bells that she had.
I think so.
And in any event,
New York.
They were in New York. She came down. They were the first people who represented the National World War II Museum in that capacity. Were from New York, and then they started a cast locally. So again, she was dealing with that, and I'm not quite sure exactly how the whole concept came up with the Stage Door Idol competition. I know, of course, we had the American Idol, so it must have been a natural suggestion. Why don't we do a talent show similar to American Idol, and let's see, who we can get to become a Stage Door Idol. And so that pretty much was it. Now, you joined the museum a little bit later, but we did have again a number of people who were there who came on first. But every year, no matter what happened, we always had at least one person to talk to, and that was our own beloved host of this, and that was, of course, Jimmy Murphy. And I'd like to bring Jimmy onto the scene now.
Jimmy!
Now, Jimmy and I both have Sazeracs tonight that I made for him. He is actually over here with me, so we're both having, as you can see, Sazeracs. They're right on there. You have what?
Yes.
I have a Moscow Mule.
All right, a Moscow Mule, and if I'm not mistaken, a Moscow Mule is a little bit of vodka, a little bit of ginger beer, and some lawn juice.
That's correct.
Yep, there you go. And again, that's a beautiful copper mug you have there. That's what it's supposed to be served in. So let me show you the beautiful background that we have, ladies and gentlemen. Where are we? Where is that place? Can you tell?
There's the Stage Door Canteen.
It is the Stage Door Canteen. And for those of you who don't believe it, you just have to take our word for it. I can take myself out.
Oh, there we are, Jimmy. It's the Stage Door Canteen.
It definitely is the Stage Door Canteen. So we're going to have that as a background. But unfortunately, as we get more and more people in tonight, it's going to be filled up with beautiful faces as opposed to a beautiful stage. And again, it was the Stage Door Canteen for many years, and then Boise Bollinger, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the donors to the National World War II Museum, and had an opportunity to name the stage for himself. And rather than say Boise Bollinger Stage Door Canteen, he called it simply BB's.
BB's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Hey, Jimmy, how did you get involved? Since you've been with this competition longer than anybody who's still with us right now, other than, of course, our first winner. But how did you get involved? Who approached you?
Well, first of all, the drink is delicious. I have to tell everybody the Sazerac is amazing. And so thank you, Alan. Alan Smason, original. So it's an easy, what happened was I was in the first show that opened up the stage door canteen called Let Freedom Swing. And we opened in 2009 in November, ran up to the summertime. Victoria approached all of us and said that she had an idea for this very low budget summer kind of thing, to put together a little competition, as you brought up before, Alan, calling Stage Door Idol. I think Idol coming also from matinee Idol, other Idol terminology that comes from back in the day. And sort of a little, just a fun competition, wouldn't cost a lot of money, wouldn't take a lot of time. Right, Erica. It takes a lot of time. Something we could throw together very easily. So she emails everybody in the cast, and she's putting this together and inviting people and getting people to come audition for that first year. Well, I don't know. I played sort of an MC type character in Let Freedom Swing. So I emailed back and I said, well, do you need a host or an MC? And she wrote back and said, we have no money in the budget for that. And I said, well, I know someone who would do it for 2 martinis.
Oh.
And she says, really? And that's where it all began. So I became the host of the Stage Door Idol, and it's been absolute joy every year for 10 years, coming and putting that show together with everybody involved, first with Victoria and her husband Jay, and now Erica.
Yeah. And I did want to mention the fact that
everybody.
Jay was very involved from the very beginning. They had the Victory 6, and I can put up an overlay of the Victory 6. This is the more recent iteration of the Victory 6. Of course, at one point it was Tom Hook on piano, and again, those of you who know, Jay was on trumpet, and he was the band leader. But when they first started out, the Victory 6 had Tom Hook, right? Isn't that right, Tom?
Yes. Yeah.
Welcome to the program.
Hi, kids.
Hi, Tom.
Surprise, surprise.
Yay.
Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Erica.
Hi, Tom.
Alan.
Hi.
And cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
What are you drinking tonight, Tom?
This is a delicious Flor de Caña, a nice rum drink.
Very nice.
Ooh.
Is it an añejo rum?
It is the
Very
añejo.
good.
See how
Very
brown
good.
it is? Yes.
It looks tasty.
Nice.
It's very tasty. It's a pirate drink, The name's Hook, so
Oh,
you got to
love
go
it.
with the
Yes.
thematically correct drink there.
Yes.
Cheers, y'all.
Thank
Cheers.
you very much. So Tom, were you a part of the scene regularly playing for Victoria at that time at the museum?
Yeah, I started when Victoria first came in. I did a lot of work there originally in some of the first shows, a lot of gigs with the band. I did some arranging, some writing. I actually worked with some of the cast of Let Freedom Swing a little bit as we did like transitioning. And then so when Stage Door Idol came along, she asked me if I would be interested. And of course I said, yeah, I'd love to. I love to accompany singers. It's my favorite thing. And so I got to do, gosh, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, Jimmy, 7 maybe, something like that.
Maybe 7. Yeah.
Something like that. And then the problem was there was always a big tour that I did every year to Japan in August, which kept me from doing a lot of Idol stuff. So I eventually ended up that Harry stepped in and took over with his wonderful talent. And
well, also, Tom, do you remember there was a little glitch in one year? Was that Erica? Were you there yet? The museum decided to branch off from singers and do a competition.
Right.
And so what happened was we auditioned and not one dancer came.
That's right.
And the thing, it went kaput, and we said, well, is it too late? Come on, Victoria, we can put this together. And we got it going. But by then, Tom, who was already planning another gig at that point because it wasn't going to be singers.
Right.
It was just going to be dancers. So that's how that thing sort of fell into play.
Well, we're honoring the Stage Door Idols, and I wanted to get you guys, not necessarily out of the way, but I wanted to get the stage set, so to speak, so we can start to bring in some of our idols. And again, Tom, we're going to ask you to hang out with us as well. Jimmy's going to be with us, and Erica's going to be with us all night, but there's going to be a point in time where we're going to ask you to say adios. And we have another guest coming by for the second part of our night. But let's get on with this because it's very important for me to be able to, to bring back these lovely women and man who have been, an integral part of what I have, enjoyed every year, the competition. And again, it is a competition, it is a contest, but the talent that is there in those finals in particular, really is at the highest of levels. And so I have to say, when you get to become a stage door idol, you have not skated past a lot of people. They have really been very close. The judges have been very concerned about making sure they have all the I's dotted, the T's crossed, etc., and making sure that only the cream of the cream rises to the top. So I'm going to be very glad to bring on our first of our Stage Door Idol winners. And I say Stage Door Idol 2010, please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, our very own Chase Kamada. And
Hey,
Hi, Chase.
now Chase, you were the Stage Door Idol 2010, and that name Chase is a very famous name in New Orleans. And again, we're going to talk a little bit about that in just a bit, though. But you might want to explain for those, one or two people who've been living under a rock, who your grandmother was, your grandfather was, and of course, even your mother, the great singer that she is, too.
My grandparents are Edgar and Leah Chase, owners of Dookie Chase's restaurant. Yeah, and so I've been well fed all of my life. And then my mother, her name is also Leah, a jazz singer. Yeah, and so that's where I got my love for jazz from. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to actually see a picture tonight of your lovely mother because she has been a judge, a longtime judge. Now, did she start? I would probably think she didn't start the very first year, right?
Oh no,
no.
I was going to say that would have been sort of like the ringer, So
I don't think. Look,
she wasn't. No, not the first year.
So
I would not have been able to sing.
She's been in a long time though. I mean, I think of all the judges, probably the longest serving.
Oh yeah,
and,
yes.
So again, I have some unbelievable pictures, and I really want to share these with everybody. First off, this is one of the early pictures from Stage Door Idol, and I'm going to put this up. And again, I'm not sure if that's who that is. Is that Lee? Chase? Is that you?
That's me.
So now, is this your first year when you were in competition, or was this you were returning for the second year? Do you know?
This was the first year, but for the show. So I guess it was so long ago, but
this is the final. This is the final.
The final, okay. Yeah. And I believe right here may have been doing an Ella Fitzgerald rendition, which, by the way, Jay did an amazing job transcribing a live Ella Fitzgerald rendition of How High the Moon for me to do for that. Yeah.
Jay worked so tirelessly, and I mean, Jay Hagan did such fantastic work on getting all of the arrangements done, and he would work with all of the. I'm sure as it went on year after year, he got a system down. But that first year, it must have been amazing. He must have really worked tirelessly to get that stuff done for you. But here's a picture. Everybody, take a deep breath. Check that out.
Yay!
And Kamada. Edgar and Leah Chase. And again, she was just an icon and most beloved of all the restaurateurs in New Orleans. I know that she's sadly missed. And she's left a legacy. I mean, she really has. I know at one point the family was saying, we could be open more hours than we are, but we don't want her to be there more hours.
No, because she'll be there every hour it's open. She would have, yeah. And I think I felt so grateful to be able to perform at the Stage Door because she loved the music of that era. Actually, her and my grandfather. So it was a great blessing, I guess, to share the space with her and get to perform music of her era that she loves so dearly.
Let me bring up another beautiful picture. My good friend Irma Thomas and you, and again we were talking about your grandmother. A lot of people may not know you're a singer in your own right. You're a performing artist, but one of the other things that a lot of people may not know is that you are actually a world class artist. And this is a picture that was, of course, I think it's what called
the hands that feed.
Yeah, and this is your grandmother obviously ladling out some gumbo. And seafood gumbo, it looks like, and that's beautiful work. So who are you inspired by in terms of your style, your artistic style?
I pretty much myself. I've always drawn since the beginning of my life. Typically artists we're creative in many ways. And yeah, and I've always loved color. And it's always been a side hobby of mine. And so it was really great to be able to showcase her in that light, you know. Yeah, it was kind of therapeutic to paint it as well in remembrance of her.
So again, you remember your song was an Ella Fitzgerald piece that you did?
Yeah, How High the Moon.
How High the Moon. That's
Yeah,
a great piece. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a funny story. So I'm a singer in the musical theater side of things because I was never cool enough to sing jazz. I used to try because my mother did. But then I remember I discovered Ella Fitzgerald, who is so busy. And that was the one song that I sat there and learned since I was a child. I studied the scat. And so it was really a magical moment to be able to attempt it. I don't know if I did it justice, but I attempted it.
Yes, you did.
So that was great.
Oh, you did.
Beautiful.
You did.
I think you're getting a little bit of an argument there, Chase.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Chase, the year 2010 came, you became the Stage Door Idol, and then 2011 came around, and they said, well, let's do this thing again. So you were returning as the Stage Door Idol, if you will, the reigning Stage Door Idol, and it was time for us to have more competition. And I'd like to bring in our second of our Stage Door Idols tonight. Again, all the way from Dallas, Texas. Please welcome Nancy Fisher, our Stage Door Idol of 2011. Nancy, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Nancy, first off, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking a potato vodka and water.
Now, is that Chopin vodka?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I know my vodka.
Really good.
So,
wow.
Nancy, what do you remember of the competition?
Well, it was particularly exciting for me because my father, who served in the time of World War II, was there for, during that time in the 40s, of course. But when he came to the competition to hear me sing, I just remembered that I could see him in his eyes reliving all those wonderful times that he had spent there. And so he really inspired me. I mean, I grew up listening to all the big band music because that was, the thing to listen to in our household. And so I'm sure that that's where my love for the Great American Songbook songs came from.
Well, do you remember what it was you did? What your song was?
You're gonna laugh because it's gonna sound like a broken record here, but it was "How High the Moon."
Yay!
So I'm really in good company, Chase.
Yes. I mean, it's a great song, hey.
Yeah.
Tom, you remember that they did it 2 years in a row and they won 2 years in a row?
I didn't remember that. But the styles are so uniquely, it's like two different songs anyway. I mean, both have their own style and wonderful too. Both great performances. Yeah.
Now, Chase, when you came back, what did you sing when you came back? Was it the same? I couldn't be the How High the Moon. They wouldn't let you do that.
A Tisket.
You really?
Was it?
Well, it may have been a Tisket Tasket. You're really jogging my memory.
Okay, that's good. Now, well, you say the Ella Fitzgerald vein, though, right?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Nancy, I've got a picture that you were able to provide. This was taken, obviously, with Sally Ann Roberts and WWL, but I have no idea who the other lady is that's on the other side of you. But was that somebody you remember?
Yes, that was the girl who was doing the traffic, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Traffic news reporter.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely don't remember her, but I remember Sally Ann, of course. But
I kind of cut it down so that because you were asking for a picture of me, so I tried to cut it down as much as I could to.
We don't need Eric. Don't worry about Eric. He's fine.
He's got enough pictures going on out there, huh?
So, I want to tell everybody we invited all of our Stage Door Idols to participate tonight.
Alan, if you're addressing something to me right now, I can't hear you.
Okay.
Everybody else.
Can you, Jim? Can you hear Jim? Okay. All right. Yeah, you had some spotty internet. I know we had some problems before. I was going to ask you, do you remember the following year what you sang when you came back?
recall that. I don't recall.
Well, the good news is that you're still singing, right? You're still and Tom, I believe both of you need to do shameless plugs now. So I'm going to ask Nancy first to hold up her CD. Nancy, what is it?
It is titled "The Very Thought of You." Is the title song, and you can download it from cdbaby.com.
cdbaby.com. And is it available through Amazon too, or not?
Yes, and it's called "The Very Thought of You."
Nancy Fisher.
Got all of these songs from the Great American Songbook on it. Very
all right. Now it's Tom's turn, because Tom just had a brand new CD that came out this last year, and we want to make sure everybody sees that. It's just called Tom Hook.
Yeah, Tom Hook, 62.
Yep.
Shameless plug. It's a collection of classic New Orleans rhythm and blues from the late 50s, early 60s, some Sinatra tunes, some Prima tunes, some Louis Jordan. It's all that era between 1955 and 1965. And I had a great company from New York, Arbor's Records, produce it for me, so I could have a big band, an orchestra, and the Victory Bells sang backup vocals on it. Christina Perez sang a duet with me, and it's a great record. So it's on iTunes, it's on Bandcamp, it's on SoundCloud, it's on Amazon. So check it out.
All right, I appreciate
Excellent.
that. Okay,
great job.
so now Nancy, you were the winner of 2011, and then of course we had the next 3 years of winners. We had J. Lee Chauvin, who was our winner in 2012, and of course she was not able to join us tonight, but we wanted to make sure that we acknowledge the fact that she was there. And then in 2013 we had Kiana Linnell. Let me see if I can bring up her photo with her and her mom that I got, which I love so much, and that was them enjoying the win, as it were, in 2013. And then in 2014 we had a performer. You may recognize her as well. Let me take the banner down on her and bring up our next performer, which of course is April Louise. And April Louise was our winner, if you will, our Stage Door Idol winner for 2014. And we actually had a picture when she returned. She had that going on the first year when she won, and then when she returned, she had the flower in the hair again, but on the other side then. And that was April Louise. April's been involved in a number of theater productions here locally, and we wish her well. We're sorry that she could not join us as well tonight. But again, one thing I can tell you is that the Stage Door Idol competition has always, been a competition open to everyone, and the competition determined by talent, and the talent that these ladies, have put out on the stage has shown itself to be really not the equal of anyone else. So we get up to 2015 now, and now we're going to bring in our next Stage Door Idol, and all the way from Mobile, as it were. We want to bring in our next winner, and I'm going to show you one of her pictures, so everybody will get to revel in a little bit of what she's all about. Let's welcome Molly Betch to our stream now. And Molly, come on in. Let's get you in. And Molly,
There's Molly.
Molly,
Hi,
Molly was our winner from
everybody.
2015. And again, you had been to this race more than once. How many times did it take before you won?
Yes, I think it was 5 times.
I think it was 5 times.
Yes.
We had this in 2011, and I just kept going because it was so much fun.
And one of the things that we kept talking about was because Molly would always do, because you really are a wonderful comic actress, you really almost channel Betty Hutton better than anybody I've ever seen. There have been a couple other people who have done it very well, but you have just, consistently done a great Betty Hutton. And you kept doing Betty Hutton. And you kept losing doing Betty Hutton. And we kept saying, gee, it's such a shame. She's so good at Betty Hutton. And then finally, the one year you didn't do Betty Hutton, what happened?
No. No,
What
I
happened?
did. I think it was more of like I felt like I ran out of songs that I think would have really engaged the audience, as well as stuff that would hit around that time period. Yeah, so I think that's why I chose it. And then I was just kind of like, oh, let's do something different this year.
Well, whatever the difference was, vive la différence. That's all I can say, because it resulted in your being crowned as the 2015 Stage Door Idol. And again, what an amazing accomplishment after 5 years. And that's the one thing I keep telling people, because we've had several people, great talents, and I'm not going to name them because I don't want to do any embarrassment or whatever, but they've gone, they've lost, they've come back, they've lost, they've come back. I keep saying, you didn't do it 5 times like Molly, you know, because that's true dedication.
So I'm the finish line?
No, you've shown them that it can be done, and it will be done. And, you know, eventually, you know, I think really it was a matter of your time. You know, once you do this competition, you get a little bit more seasoned. I really think that you get a little more comfortable in your skin. And, you know, I may be speaking out of turn. Tom is a good person to probably turn to on this. Erica, what do you think? Do you think that has any basis in fact that perhaps the more they do it, the more comfortable they get doing it?
I could agree to that. You get more comfortable on stage. You come back the next year, and even, you know, I'm not sure, Molly, if you made it to the finals the few years before, but you're like, it's got to happen this year. You know, you just have this, I guess you're more comfortable on the stage and own it.
Tom, what about you? Do you think that's a good assessment there?
The contest is so unique in the fact that it's period music. So many of our contestants are young people who are learning this music. It's not really the music that they grew up with unless they listen to their grandfather's records or whatever. And then I got to watch so many people grow from being 17, 18 to being 21, 23, whatever, grow as entertainers, as singers, as performers, and learn the music and understand the music and get better year after year after year. It was really neat to watch that, to be from a child singer to a young woman singing. And I think a lot of it was age for so many of the people who were so young when they started, you know, yourself included.
Well, again, Molly, we have a couple more pictures I wanted to throw out for everybody to enjoy because I picked your year a little bit more because, you know, we had a couple of things. First off, one of the judges I wanted to bring out, Lena Prima, who is a longtime judge and a close friend of mine. Matter of fact, Lena was so good to me because when they first started requiring us to wear masks, Lena sewed 2 masks for me with coffee filters in them. So I wanted to thank her for that until I got one more permanent mask. Anyway, we'll have another picture of Lena in a little bit. And again, as I promised, there is a picture here of Leah with Molly, and again, you know, I could have picked anybody, but that particular year I picked up a lot of judges that I got, so I wanted to make sure that. And then there was this dumb person that ended up getting into this picture with Molly. So he couldn't even wear his Hamilton pin straight. Look at that.
Yeah, that was the year. That was 2016, and I had just gotten off a plane from LA, and I think I had like 2 hours to get ready, and I was like, oh, I'm just. And I had to drive from across the bay too, so I was just like,
so that was the year. That was the year that the Stage Door Idol competition changed forever. Why is that? Why is that? Because who won Stage Door Idol 2016? Who won it? The first man to ever win it. The first man to ever win it. Spencer Rocca. And we now have him in the room. And again, Spencer showed that people with Y chromosomes have talent. Thank you very much.
It is so hard to hear you.
Yeah, you know, I told you you're on a phone.
Oh, sorry. I wish you'd have brought me on earlier because I'm about to lay on the floor.
What are you drinking tonight, Spencer? What are you having?
I can barely hear you, but I kind of know what's going on. What I'm drinking is Jack Daniels, and it's the special kind. It's the Jack Daniels Sinatra Select. Comes from
look at that.
Wow.
That's pretty good. Molly, what were you having, by the way? I didn't get to ask what your drink was. What was
Oh,
it?
whiskey's great.
What is it? What is it?
Whiskey.
Whiskey. What
Oh,
kind?
yeah.
It's a whiskey.
What kind?
Do what now?
You two a
It comes
whiskey.
in a big box.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
Sinatra.
Do what now?
It's Jack
What were you
Daniels, but it's from Sinatra's Private Barrel.
No, I'm not that fancy. It's just Woodford Reserve.
All right, so Spencer, I got to ask
Special
you,
occasion. It's good seeing all of y'all.
what was it like to be the first guy named as a stage door idol? Did you think it was going to be sort of an uphill battle for you to win? Did you think it was something
I'm
that would
sorry,
be
I can't
difficult?
hear you, Alan.
Yeah, sorry, I was asking, what was it like to be the first man to be stage door idol? What did you feel?
When I won, what did I feel?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was tremendous. It was. I hadn't won anything before that. But it was nice to win something, and I remember the thing that stuck with me the most. It was the first time I ever got flowers. Ever.
I had the pictures.
It was a wonderful experience, and it was great to play with such talented musicians. Probably for one of the first times in my life that I played with such talented people, and I'll never forget it. It was wonderful, and it led to a lot of things.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that Spencer, because of your win with Stage Door Idol, one but 3 shows at the Stage Door Canteen, if I'm not mistaken. The My Way show, which was Sinatra show, your own Sinatra show, right, that you did, and now your own Elvis show. A lot of people don't know that you actually channeled Elvis before you channeled Sinatra, right?
Oh, wow.
You did Elvis before you did Frank Sinatra, right?
Elvis.
The connection's not
Poor
too
guy.
good. I heard something about the Elvis show, but
Yeah.
It was, yeah, they're both wonderful. I enjoyed both of them. It was great to work with Tom.
Yeah.
Tom's just a wonderful composer and a director of music as well. And I learned a lot from Tom. And I forgot to say hello to Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy. I love you, baby. He was but it was those 2 shows. Stage Door Idol led to those 2 shows, and I wouldn't change it for anything. I had learned so much doing those shows, and doing those 2 different people, or 2 totally different musicians, Frank Sinatra and Elvis. Elvis is pretty fun. I can't wait for it to start back up again.
Right.
All this stuff will go away. But I'm looking forward to it, and it's so good to see all these lovely faces again and everything. I wish I could hug you, but we're stuck in this. But cheers. It's been wonderful.
Oh.
There's a picture of you, Spencer, when you returned the following year, and that was 2017, as you were the reigning 2016 idol. And we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But again, Spencer, if you had to talk about the Stage Door Idol, what it meant to you, could you tell us a little bit about what the competition actually happened? What happened with you with the competition in terms of your career?
With my career, I'm sorry,
Correct.
I can't hear you, Alan. It's
Stage Door
breaking up
Idol.
pretty bad.
Stage Door Idol. Just tell me about your career with Stage Door Idol, what it led to. Okay.
I
Can
can't
anybody
hear
else?
you. I'm sorry.
All
It's
right.
all breaking up.
All right. Well, Spencer, again, we want to thank you. We have to let you go because there's a whole bunch of people that are still trying to get in right now, and we have to let them come in. So we're gonna do it in order. I'm gonna ask Chase to stick around because we got a special thing coming in. But
I'll stick around. I heard that.
All right. Okay. And we're gonna ask Nancy. Thank you very much for being with us. And again, you take care of yourself. We're gonna also have to say goodbye to the lovely Molly. We're going to ask you to say goodbye as well while we
Good
get
seeing
a couple
everybody
more
together.
people in here.
Bye.
You take care, Molly. And I'm going to remove Chase from the stream so we can get some more people in here. Spencer, as much as we love you, we gotta ask you to also give way for some other people going to come in. So we're going to say goodbye as well. But thank you very much for being the guy that you are and the Stage Door Idol for 2016. Thank you again for being with us, okay?
Miss you, Spencer.
It's been
All
my
right,
pleasure.
Spencer.
Now I can hear you.
All right, take care. All right. And Tom, also, we have to make way for you for another person who's going to be coming in. So we're going to ask you to take your leave. Thanks for being such a great guy and being here tonight.
Love you guys.
You too, Tom. So good to see you.
All right. So now, Jimmy, it's time to bring in a couple more people. And I'm waiting for, let's see if they're all back trying to get in. Most of them are here. I'm still missing one other person. But we'll see what happens. Let's see if I can get them in. First off, let's go back to 2017. Spencer came back out on the stage. Again, the first time a man had won. And the first time we had somebody come out on the stage to challenge his reign, as it were, to replace him, was this next lady coming in all the way from Montana. Yes,
Hello.
indeed. Our 2017 winner,
Yay!
Margie K.
Margie!
Hey, Margie. And coming in from Montana.
Margie.
Now, what are they drinking in Montana tonight, Margie?
Well, I'm drinking white wine and La Croix and blueberries.
Delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Excellent.
Because I can.
Margie, what had you entered before? Was this your first entry into Stage Door Idol?
This is my first year. I moved to New Orleans in 2016. So in October of 2016. So it was just my first time even hearing about the World War II Museum, actually. So, and I just said, oh, okay, I'll do that. That sounds fun. One song? Sure.
Yeah. Erica, you were working at the museum at that point, right?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. I thought you were.
2018.
2018. Okay, so we were very close. So I know that Margie, you won. What year? What week was it that you won? Do you remember? Was it the first or third or fourth week? Do you remember or no?
You tied, Margie. Didn't you tie with somebody?
I tied with Meryl. Meryl
Yes,
and
with
I tied.
Meryl. Meryl Zimmerman.
Yes.
Yeah. And she was wonderful. We take from the same voice coach. And so we both became buddies after that. It was like super fun to get to see her back.
So tell me what was it that you sang? Do you remember?
But not for me. And I sang the intro, the original intro.
The lyric.
I sang
the lyric. What we call, yeah.
And that was fun. That was an interesting challenge. I said it's all bananas. I had to make that make sense. So that was fun. I had to make that come from somewhere.
Jim, do you remember anything of Margie's year?
Oh, absolutely. Very special. Margie was, she was a charm, starting with backstage. Some of what some people miss is a lot of the time that we get with them backstage, which is lovely. And she was confident. She had a lovely sense of humor about her, an ease about her. I'm sure nervous as hell like everybody. But, one thing we want to mention is that these performers did not rehearse this on stage. You were talking about it earlier. They just come out on this stage that they haven't rehearsed on in front of this audience and perform this piece. So it's a challenge right there. But Margie was lovely. Margie, I still remember your performance. It was delightful. And I remember, too, you might want to add a special thing that you got that year. I was telling Alan, is that I think one of your prizes was you were able to sing the Star Spangled Banner. Is that correct? At a Saints game?
Well, you're spoiling my thunder here.
Oh, I spoke.
Yes.
Oh, you should never
there.
give it. Don't give it over to me, Alan. You take it.
That's all right. Not a problem. Not a problem. I actually wanted to show that because when Margie came out, she won. A beautiful picture there. You know, again, sometimes the photographer does do well. But then they brought out after he came out and he told, "You're going to sing the Star Spangled Banner in a Saints game." And my God, look at her mouth. It was like, I'm going to do what? I'm going to do what? So yeah, that was pretty amazing. So Margie, tell me a little bit before we get to our next idol. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing now. You're in Montana.
Yeah, I came to Missoula to take a break and skip Mardi Gras because I had some Mardi Gras, and I said I'll just go home for a couple weeks, and then COVID hit, and now I'm here. Is kind of how it's been. I'm nannying a baby, and yeah, so I work about 40 hours a week with a very small human. I sing to him all the time, and he helps me with my resonances because they react differently if you're singing in different resonances. They have, you're holding them so you can feel the vibrations. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just in Missoula for a while doing that. I'm still taking voice with Guy, and I did do some stand-up comedy for a minute, which was fun. Really fun.
I could see that.
It was really fun. It was terrifying, and it's always fun to do things that are terrifying. And then I was like, oh, that was fun. I want to do it again. And then, so I'm just kind of playing around in that world.
Well, I actually was hoping that I'd have our next special guest in, and we're waiting for that person to come back in. So maybe if they're checking things out, they'll come back in now because I'm waiting for them to be here. In the meantime, let's move on to the next year because I know your year was a great win. First time that one of the winners had a chance to sing for the Saints. And then in 2018, we have our next winner, and I'm going to bring our next winner in. I'm not seeing a good picture, though, when I'm wondering if we're able to see our winner. So our 2018 Stage Door Idol is I can hear. It looks like we're going to be able to hear but not see Karis.
Yeah,
Karis,
here.
we can hear you very well. I'm going to put your picture up, Karis, so people know who it is.
Yay, Karis!
So, you might want to get yourself out and come back in because I know it worked well the other day.
I know. It's crazy. Hold on, I'm gonna leave and come back.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea. So we're waiting, for her. But again, there was this, and I love to see the up and down pictures. The problem is it doesn't fill the whole screen, so it sort of covers us up a little bit, and we have to kind of look around. And some of us, like Jimmy, you got to move over to your right.
Oh,
in order to be
I
seen.
still can't get this right.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite of where you want to be. So in any event, I'm hoping that we get Karis back in because I think Spencer keeps coming back in, which is fine. But I'm still waiting for our other special guest to come in, and if we can get them in. It's always, this is live, so we do what we can. So as soon as Karis gets in, I'm gonna ask Spencer not to come back anymore. Let's see what happens. I know he keeps trying to come in, so but we need to get to our other guests first before we get back to Spencer. If we get time to get Spencer in, we will. So anyway, so I know that that this competition, was something that I don't think Karis had ever been involved with before. This is I think her first time, and I wanted to make sure that was the case. And weigh in on that. I don't know, Erica, you were in there at that point, so maybe you can. Do you remember whether or not this was Karis's very first?
I love to hear. Think it was.
I thought it was too.
Yeah, I know she sang "God Bless the Child," and I think her night two she tied with somebody as well. Maybe Mark Anthony Thomas, if I'm remembering that correctly. Jimmy, I don't know if you remember that, but.
That I think so.
That sounds familiar. And I think it was her first time. I can say she's, gone on to become a a victory bell with us as well. Wonderful.
And Karis has also won the stage door. Not stage door, besides stage door. She's won the Big Easy award for acting. So, Karis, was that for featured performer? I can't even hear her now, unfortunately.
I thought she won for. Somebody stop me if I'm wrong. I think it was lead for ragtime.
Okay, might have been lead.
I believe
was it
so.
Lead
Yes.
Was it lead as Sarah? There you are.
Summer.
Goodness gracious! All right, finally get to see you. And again, I apologize, folks. Sometimes these things take their time. There she is, in all of her glory.
Hi.
See, I knew you'd be there. So this was your first time, though, right?
Doing stage door.
Yeah.
Stage door.
Yes, that was my first time.
How does that feel? The first time out of the box, and you win. You won all the marbles.
I definitely didn't expect it at all. It felt really great. But it was crazy for the first few minutes because I was just like looking around. And I remember right after I asked Jimmy, I was like, so what do I do now? I had no clue. But it felt, I mean, it's gonna sound cliche, but it was really a magical moment because it was definitely something I've never done before. And it was something that was definitely out of my usual genre for sure. I mean, I come from a lot of jazz music and my family's all jazz, but I'm the only one that does like traditionally is musical theater. So when I got to do jazz, it brought me back to my roots and everything, and it felt great to actually win doing something that's so close to home. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you could do this with us tonight because again, you're one of our shining stars in theater now, as well as having an association with Stage Door. So we're really appreciative of you being there. I'm going to tell you that according to the information that I've got, our other guest says he's in the studio, but I don't see him. And for whatever reason, I'm gonna just announce other guest. If you would please try to come back in, it would be great if you would just try to do it again, because apparently 2 or 3 times is the charm with this tonight. I'm not quite sure why, but we would like you very much to make an appearance, and so hopefully that'll work. In the meantime, I want to be able to talk about your follow-up the next year, because the next year you were the returning Stage Door Idol winner, and it was time for our next winner, and now the reigning Stage Door Idol to come into our there she is.
Uh-oh, someone's coming.
Let's welcome Brittany Williams. Again, I have to. It takes a little bit of time to get everybody in, but Brittany, you are the reigning Stage Door Idol, because this year there was no competition. You're going to continue to be the reigning Stage Door Idol.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Again, I've got some wonderful pictures of all of us. Erica, when did you know that we weren't going to be able to have a Stage Door competition? When was it obvious that it wasn't going to happen this year?
I think I held out hopes like through mid-May.
Yeah.
Jimmy can, attest to that. I called him a few times. I was like, "Can we do it? Do you think we can like
emails,
socially distance it?" And
we're gonna do it.
It's like let's make it happen. But as it became very clear, like the museum didn't even open again until May 26th. I think that was Memorial Day, and we just knew there was going to be no shows this summer. And as we're working through boring budgets and all of that jazz, not jazz because it's not fun, is just taking all the shows out for the summer. And again, I talked to Jimmy, we could maybe do something virtual, but it was just never going to work. I don't think.
So Brittany, you will continue to reign. You've accepted your reign for another year now.
I will carry this heavy burden. I will.
But we really do appreciate your waiting so long. I mean, I'm sorry that it took so long, but I do have some wonderful pictures to share, and I would be remiss if I didn't do that. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this gorgeous picture of Brittany winning. And Jimmy there, Jimmy,
Yes.
I knew I'd have a picture of you eventually. You know what I'm saying? So there
was
you
so
are,
happy.
Jimmy.
She was so happy.
I was
That's a
so
wonderful
surprised.
And again, we would be remiss if we didn't mention that the judges. This is the last year that we had. We mentioned Leah already and Lena, but Scoot was there, as well as Dennis Assaf from JPAS, and they were the people who actually were the judges, and how wonderful and how difficult their task is every year to really decide many times, between a hair between the talent that there is out there on that stage. So again, thank you very much for all that you do. Everybody who's out there, Lena, if you're watching, and Leah, if you're watching, and Dennis, if you're watching, and Scoot, thank you for being part of this great tradition that we have here. So,
and Alan, all of the judges, those final judges that we have every year, but also you yourself, people have judged Nancy through the years. They give their time to come and their expertise to help. And, I talked to the contestants backstage, and everyone has been supportive and really positive with them, giving good criticism, but, supporting their efforts and so forth. So they've all done a terrific job to really help our contestants to want to come back and try again if they, didn't win this particular year.
So Erica, we will have another Stage Door Idol next year, right?
Yes. It is, probably one of my favorite events that I've worked on at the museum, and we have to carry it on, and we'll continue it next year when we can, because we will be able to. We'll be out of this by then.
Yes.
So who's actually handling the music now for this? Who's doing the music now?
Well, on the preliminary nights, we have the lovely Harry Mayron, who's been a fantastic person to work with, and we love and miss him. And if he's coming on, this would be a great time for him to do so.
I've been trying to wait for him for the last 20 minutes. Our mystery guest has been revealed, but he's not here. And you know what?
Harry!
It is one of those things. Harry is technically challenged sometimes by these things. I checked Harry out first before anybody else. And so I knew that it might be a difficulty for him. But I said, you know what? It's going to work. I know we're going to check it out. And he was very good about it. At first, he thought that there might be something going on that might be a little controversial. I said, no, not at all. Come on in, Harry. The water's fine. But anyway, when he didn't show up right at 8:30, I started to worry about it. And you know what? It is what it is. I can't make it happen any more than it is. I think that he's a great talent. And again, and in the final show that we have, who do we have that's doing the work with you?
So Dr. Peter Cho has done some of the arrangements. He runs the Victory 6. Tom Hook still has done some of the arrangements. John Mahoney has done a few of them. Sometimes if there's a repeat song, we might kind of rework it for that particular contestant, whether we have to change the key or not. But the band leader for the Victory 6 is Dr. Peter Cho.
Very nice. Okay. So that's what we've got going for next year. You have that to look forward to. And Margie, I just want to tell you, it's lovely to see you tonight.
Yes,
I'm so glad that you were able to be with us. And you know what? Let's not make this a long time in coming. You're going to be coming back to New Orleans soon, we hope.
I hope so.
Okay.
I
We'll
miss
miss
it.
you.
We miss
We
you.
want to see you. We want to see you come in. Okay. All right. Take care of yourself. We're going to see you later. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Margie,
Bye.
Cates, ladies and
Thank
gentlemen, we're gonna make way for saying goodbyes to some of our other guests that are with us tonight. First off, I cannot tell you how enthused I am to have Karis with us tonight, because Karis, you are going to be doing a lot more, not only on stage, possibly at the Stage Door Canteen, but definitely on other stages. And if New Orleans can keep a hold of you, You know, that'll be great, but I don't know. We may
I
not
saw
be
that
able
look,
to.
Eric.
You might be headed for another stage somewhere else. So we'll see. All right. Well, let's see. Anyway, again, thank you for being part of this tribute to all of the stage door idols, and again, have a great night tonight. And now we're not going to be letting our reigning stage door idol go, because I wanted at this time to bring in our first stage door idol, Savannah, stage door number 1,
Hey,
and stage
welcome back,
door number
Chase.
10.
Yay.
There we go.
Cheers.
Nice to meet you too.
Gorgeous picture, by the way. Wow, what a picture.
Thank you.
Gorgeous voice.
So this is, you know, really the beginning and the end. It really shows the continual, you know, spirit of competition, but also the fact that what starts always continues. And I mean, you know, I'm so happy that I can make this thing happen tonight. I knew, Erica, that when we weren't going to have a competition, I said, you know, it's a shame that we can't honor these ladies and this man in some way, that we can, you know, honor their talent. And again, the fact that there won't be a competition this year should be, you know, somehow or other given some special notice, so that people will say, hey, yeah, I remember those competitions, and I'm going to look forward to them next year, when hopefully all of this stuff is over and water under the bridge. So, you know, again, I appreciate you all being here with us tonight.
Thank you for putting it all together, Alan.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Fantastic idea.
One thing I'm sorry about was Harry wasn't here, because Harry has been an integral part of the show.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
and again, you know, I don't want to have to, you know, toot his own horn or play his own piano keys, as it were. But, you know, he's a great talent. And I really am sorry that he couldn't make it in. And he said he thought he was in, but for some reason, I think he might have used the old studio link and didn't get the new one. And if that's the case, all I can do is say, read your email closely, Harry. So that's all I can tell you.
Well, and I know Harry really enjoys working with. Sometimes he'll do a little coaching session, and he contacts every contestant. That could be up to about 40 people in the preliminary rounds, and he makes sure that they give him his music, or getting it wrong. Too much vodka. He gets their music from them. And 9 o'clock's almost my bedtime now that it's COVID. But and
look at that.
Harry,
I am here, he says.
I'm here.
So he might be on Facebook Live. I have no idea where he is. He's not in StreamYard. He's not here. So he says he's here. He says he hates technology. I know, Harry. That's why I tried you first. I knew you did. And guess what? I want one more person who did not ever become a stage door idol, but was an integral part of the scene on the stage at BB's Stage Door Canteen. And before it was BB's, just the Stage Door Canteen. We got another shout out from who else but Courtney Anderson.
Courtney.
And you know, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that Courtney had a baby boy, and that
congratulations.
These are our parents now. So, you know, we've got maybe another stage door idol who will be competing some years in the future, but we'll see. But again, Courtney, who graced so many stages, you know, and again, we wanted to thank her for you know, showing us, you know, what's going on in terms of giving some love and shouting out everything. So again, thank you, ladies. Thank you, Spencer. Thank you, Jimmy. I'm gonna say goodbye. Yes,
Alan. One thing just before you go. So I know that, you know, as the song says, I left my heart at the Stage Door Canteen. This is all about the heart and the music and so forth. But we can't forget the competition. I know you wanted to mention, so I'm bringing up. Thanks to Lou Soro and his lovely wife, Dory, who have donated the $1,000 prize money that we give to the winner every year. So we'd like to acknowledge them, because that's a big part of attracting some of our singers. It's a good deal, right? So we thank them for their support. Anyway,
yeah.
I know you wanted to
I will say that Chase did not get she only got 5.
It's
you know, but that's okay.
Yes, the beginning.
I got the experience. The band. That's all you need. The band. Yeah.
But in 10
and the
years,
martini afterwards.
In the 10 years, it's grown, ladies. You know, from Chase to Brittany, it's gone up. Yeah. Who knows? It may
anyway,
go up more.
Chase, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. And please give my best. I'm going to tell Irma that I put a picture of her up tonight. She'll be very happy to know it was with you.
That's beautiful.
But you take care of yourself, all right?
Thank you for having me.
Door Idol
Much love
1,
to all of you.
we say good night. And Stage Door
Good night.
Idol 10, our rating Stage Door Idol, we say good night to you. Take care of yourself. Whitney.
Good to see you.
Good night.
Jimmy, you stick around. Okay, you got no choice because you're here, Jimmy, in my house.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Erica. It's been
Thank
a
you.
pleasure and so much
Thank
love.
you so much.
And again, this was a lot of fun. I thank you very much, and I'll
Thank you, Erica.
hopefully see you when
Good to see you
open up
guys.
again. All right, take care of
Erica
yourself.
does a wonderful job. No one knows how hard it is to put this together, but Erica does.
Except Jimmy.
I know very much so. All right, we got to go because it's 9 o'clock. Jimmy,
Yes.
thank you very much for being here. I'm going to take you out of the stream because I got to say goodbye to everybody, but thank you for being a part of this special night. And again, thank you all the people who were out there. Again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us and reminiscing through the years. In terms of remembering these wonderful, talented people. Again, my name is Alan Smason. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode, as it were, of NOLA Theater Talk. It's broadcast on the NOLA Theater Facebook group, also on the theatercriticism.com Facebook page, and also on my own YouTube channel. That's it for tonight. Thank you very much for being with me, and I'll see you at the theater.